Hey guys, welcome back. I'm from 𝐬𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐴. So in the last part we have done the PayPal setup, and in this video we are going to do all the stuff related to our database. We are also going to create a seeder file that will seed our database. So let's go to MongoDB Atlas website. Just search for MongoDB Atlas or Mongo Atlas, and here it is. Just click the first link, MongoDB Atlas database. Just sign up if you don't have an account. I have an account, so let me log in. Mine is code.sumesh@gmail.com. Next, password, autofill, click on login. And by the way guys, this Atlas website is made using React if you don't know. Come on, yep. Okay, so first of all you need to create a new project. So just click on this drop down and select new project. Nice, just give this project a name. So this is 𝐬𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐽𝐻 for YouTube. Next, and then this is project owner, which is your account, so just leave this as default and click on create project. Let me just toggle the dark mode. This is not the official dark mode of MongoDB, so just let me toggle this. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's create a cluster. Click on this build a cluster. We'll be going for the free option, so just select this share cluster free. Click on this create a cluster. Just leave this as AWS. Just choose your region. I'll be going for Mumbai, and then this is default values. Then click on create cluster. Okay, cool. It will take a little bit more time to create the cluster. Meanwhile, let's set up the database. So just select this database access, click on this, and then just click on this add new database user. Here just put your name, Sumit. Okay, enter a password. I'll be going for the auto generated secure password, so just click on this. That is cool. Just copy the password and put it somewhere else. I mean, just save this cause it will be needed later. Okay, put it here. Nice. And then click on add user. That's it. Okay, so that's all for this database access. Just select the network access. Just click on this add IP address, and for now just select this allow access from anywhere. So 0.0.0.0/0. That's it. Click on confirm, and that's it. The status is pending now. It will be active soon. Okay, so let's see the clusters. Yeah, it is created. Nice. Just click on this connect and just grab the connection URL. Just select this connect to your application. Yeah, got it. So just copy this URL, and now just go to your project. Just go to the sidebar, and you should see a file which is called connectdb inside the libraries folder. So inside this libs folder you should see a file which is connectdb. It is in our boilerplate code, so you should see the file. Cool. Now here you can see that inside this function I'm connecting this using mongoose.connect, and make sure guys this mongoose package is installed. Okay, so inside this mongoose.connect I'm getting this URL using this process.env.mongodb URI. So it means that I need to put this URL in the .env file. So just go to this .env.example. Oh, I have this .env.local. You might have this .env.example, so just change this to .env.local, and then just put the MongoDB URI as MongoDB URI. That's it. Okay, you just need to change something. So the password should be your password. The password you have just copied. Okay, and the second thing is you can change the database name. So here is the database name, which is my first database. Just change this to what? 𝐬𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐽𝐻 database. Okay, cool. Now it's time to check the database connection. So just save this, and now inside this connectdb I'm getting this Mongo URI. That is fine. I pass some options that is recommended from the MongoDB documentation, and then do something. Just go here and comment out all these stuffs. Okay, so the first one is if the mongoose.connection.ready state is greater than 1, then just return. It means it is already connected. And then this is mongoose.connection.on, so it will listen to this connected event. If the database is connected, it will log this out, so connected to MongoDB database. And then the third one is mongoose.connection.on. It will listen to the error event, and if anything goes wrong, it will just log out the error. So let me just log out the error.message. Okay, cool. Now I need to call this somewhere. Where to call? There is a lot of options. You can actually call this inside the index.tsx in the server side, but let's go for the API approach. So let's go to sidebar. Inside this pages folder, you should see this API folder. Inside this API folder, you have this hello.ts. This is a separate endpoint. So again, let me show you. Just go to the browser, go to localhost 3001, and just go to localhost 3001/API/hello. Every file located inside the API folder is a separate endpoint. We are going to go in detail about the API, but for now just you need to know this. Okay, so I got the name John Doe, fine. So let me just call this dbconnect function inside this API. So just put a try catch, call this asynchronous function. Inside the try, just call dbconnect. Should be auto imported, yes, from library/connectdb. Call this, and it's an asynchronous function, so just use await. Beautiful. Inside the error, just put async. Cool. Inside the error, you can catch this, or you know what, just do something. Put this res.status here. If anything goes wrong, just put 500 and pass something like message connection failed. And if everything is fine, just duplicate this and put it here. This is 200. Connection established, means DB connection established. Okay, so yeah, let's check this. And guys, if you have changed the .env to a local file, you need to restart your server. So just restart your server, npm run dev again. Okay, it is restarted. Now just go to API/hello and press enter. Let's see. Connection established, great. So our database connection is ready. And now let's create the models. Just go to models folder. Model means Mongoose models. So you need to create two models. One is quote and the second one is donation, right? So let's create the quote first. Quote means this one. So we already have the data, by the way. Just let me go to the home screen. Just go to the family. Okay, so this one, these are the quotes. So this data should be coming from the MongoDB database. So let me create the model first. So inside this model, let's create the file quote .ts. Cool. Close the sidebar. First of all, import the Mongoose from Mongoose. Cool. Let's create the schema. Const, let's say quote schema. This will be very simple schema. So new mongoose.schema. Here, let's define the schema. So it should have a name, which is a string, so the type string, and it is required. So required is true. We got something wrong, and that is because this is not string, this is capital string. Okay, so this is our name, which has a type string, and this is required. Let me just copy this couple of times, and then the second one is the text. This is also a string and it is required, and then the third one is picture URL. This is also string and this is also required. So let's save this and just export this out. So export default mongoose.models.quote if it is already created. So mongoose.model.quote, and if not, then create the model. So mongoose.model, the name of the model is quote, and the schema, this is a quote schema. Oh, this is a quote schema, not quote scheme. Quote schema. Cool. So we got our model, right? And now let's add some TypeScript. So for that, let's import the interface we have created for the quote. So I'm talking about this interface. Inside this libraries folder, inside this types, I have this interface which is 𝐼Quote. So let me just import this, because we are going to inherit this interface. Oh, our auto import will take care of that. Okay, so let me just create a separate type. So type, this one is the part of TypeScript. Let's say code document. Code document. So we are going to create a type that will basically inherit all the types of Mongoose document. So for that, just use document, and it should be coming from the Mongoose document. So let me just import this from Mongoose, so document. Cool. And it has also a type of our 𝐼𝐶ode, the interface, so and 𝐼𝐶ode. Yeah, that's it, that's our model type is ready. So grab this code document and put it inside this generic, so just put an angle bracket inside the schema and pass this code document, that's it. And then at last just export this as code document, not directly code document but mongoose.model, and just pass the code document here inside this generic. Oops, cool. And then here after this mongoose.model you can pass a generic and put this code document, that's it. I got something wrong, this is not models, this is model with a capital M. Yeah, got it. So that's it, that's our model is ready. And now let's create the second model. So again just go to this models folder, let's create another file which is donation, donation.ts. Let me just copy this model and put it inside this donation.ts. We need to change some data, of course. So first of all, this is not code, actually just select all the code. So select the code and press Ctrl and H in VS Code and replace this with the donation. Replace all, that's it. Okay, so I don't have this 𝐼_donation. We need to create that type, we are going to create that, and then we are importing the Mongoose and the document from Mongoose, that is fine. We are creating a donation document that is inheriting all the types of document and the 𝐼_donations. Okay, that is cool. And then this donation schema, inside this donation schema I am creating a schema using mongoose.schema, passing the donation document as the generic, and then this is name which is type string and required is true. And then I don't need this text, instead this is amount, so amount which is a type number, so number, and this is required. And then this picture URL, we don't need that, fine. And just export this out. So mongoose.model.donation as mongoose.model, just pass the donation document, and if the model is not already created, in that case just create the model and export this out. So this is mongoose.model, just passing the donation document as generic, the name of the model is donation, and this is getting the schema donation schema, fine. So the last part is we need to create this type which is 𝐼_donation. So just go to types, let's create the interface, so export interface 𝐼_donation. Okay, this is name string, so it should have a name string, and then the second one is amount which is a number. Great, so I have my 𝐼𝐶ode, I have the 𝐼_donation. And anything is wrong here? The error should be resolved. Yeah, great, fine. And now I am going to create a seeder. What is a seeder, by the way? So if you don't know about database seeding, let me tell you about this. This is nothing but populating the database with some dummy data. For example, let's say you are making a social media website. In that case, you should have some dummy data about the post or the users, right? So that you can test your API and check all the other functionalities. That's it. This is called database seeding. In short, just populate your database with some dummy data. So for that, let me just create a file. Let's close this, just go to your root folder and let's create seeder.ts, not rs. So seeder.ts, cool. First of all, close all the other files, then open seeder.ts. Okay, so here first of all I need to make the database connection. So let me just comment that out, because we need to create a separate file for separate function for that, because we don't want to mess up with the connectDB function, and there's a reason behind that. I'll tell you that. Okay, so this is the first one. We're going to create that function later. Second one is import data. So import data means basically the seeding data. So let me create a function which is import data. It's an arrow function which is asynchronous. It has to be asynchronous. Okay, so inside a try catch block, let's perform some asynchronous stuff. So first of all, remember we have created a data file. Inside this data.ts, just go to libs. Inside this data.ts, we have some data. I mean the array of objects, right? So we are going to populate our database with this data. So for that we need to import this data, and our auto import will do that. So let's grab the code. This is the models we have just created. So yeah, this is imported, just put it at the top. Cool. So code.insert many. Here just put the data and the data should be auto imported from lib source data and not data. This is quotes. Quotes should be auto imported. It is auto imported from lib/data. So this will be inserted in the quote model, and that will create a collection which is called quotes. Okay. So yeah, we are going good. It's an asynchronous function, so just use await. Fine. Now one important part of seeding is, before inserting any data, just delete all the data which is already there in the database. So just use await again and just use quote dot delete many. That's it. This will delete all the data inside the quote model, inside the quotes collection. All good. So if this is performed well, just log out data is imported, data imported, then just exit the process. So process.exit with a status code 0, it means all good. And if anything goes wrong, just copy this and just log out data not imported, and the exit status is 1, so something went wrong. So yeah, that's our import data function. And let's get another function which is destroy data. So this function will be responsible to destroy the data. So destroy data. Okay, inside this I have this code which is await code.delete many, and that is all for this function. I don't need the second one. This is data destroyed, and then if anything goes wrong, this is data not destroyed. Fine. Okay, now I need to call this function. So we are gonna call this function based on a command line argument. So for that, let's use the process.argv. So if process.argv, using this I can get all the arguments of the command line. So if the third argument of the command line is -d, in that case I'll call destroy data, and if it seems confusing, don't worry, it will be crystal clear in a minute, I promise. If this is -d, I'll be calling -d means destroy, so destroy data. Else I'll call what? Import data. Save this. Great. And now let's establish the database connection. Okay, so as a database connection, we can just call this connect db, right? But we have some problem. Not a problem, but that this is not the best practice. Why? Because inside this connect db function, look at this. This is accessing an environment variable. This one, this process.env.mongodb URI. So if you call this connect db function from this cdart.ts, as this cdart.ts is inside the node environment, you need to set up a separate .env package inside this connect db function. But we don't want to mess up with this connect db function. We can just install something like .env and then just call .env.configure, and it will work, but we don't want to mess up with the file again. So yeah, we're gonna create this .env.configure in the cdart.ts, but not in the connectdb.ts. Okay, so this is a best practice. That's it. So inside this cdart.ts, just remove this connectdb and create the function again. So just copy this mongoose.connect from here, copy this, go to cdart.ts, put it here, import the mongoose, auto imported. It's not auto import, is wrong, bro. Mongoose from mongoose. That's it. And this will return me a promise, so just use .then. If everything is fine, just log out something like database is connected, db connected. And if anything goes wrong, just catch the error, just log out the error .message. That's it. Remove the semicolon. Fine. And now we need to grab this environment variable, which is MongoDB URI. And to get the environment variable from a Node.js process, you need to install a package which is .env. So just go to your terminal and type npm i.env. Cool. Okay, just remove this connectdb, we don't need that. Installed. Cool. So let's import the package, import .env from .env. .env, cool. And just set up this, so .env.configure why my VS Code is slow. So .env.config and just set up the path. So path, so this is located inside our root folder, right? So .env.local inside our root folder. Yes. So grab the current directory, which is directory name __ plus up plus slash .env.local. Cool. And now we need to execute this script. For that, just go to package.json and let's create a script. So inside the script, just put a comma. Let's create another one, which is, let's say, data.import or data:import. Okay, cool. So execute this using TS node and make sure, guys, your TS node is installed. I have installed this globally, so make sure it is installed. So TS node, the script is cdat.ts. That's it. Just copy this. The second one is data:destroy, and this is TS node cdat.ts again, but with a d flag. Just remove the comma and look at this d flag. This is used inside our if condition. So inside this cdat.ts, I'm talking about this d flag. So if the third argument of the command line is d, in that case that's called destroy data, and the third argument is -d here. So this one is the first argument, this TS node. This one is the second argument, which is cdat.ts, and this is the third, that's d. Cool. And now let's execute this. We're gonna face an error. Let's see. So in the second terminal, just run npm run data.import. Enter, and the error is here. Cool. Oh, data.import is not there, which is now. Oh, just save this. And now let's run this. Yeah, got it. So the problem is cannot use import statement outside a module. So the problem comes from the tsconfig.json. So inside this tsconfig.json, look at this. It has a module which is 𝐬𝐮𝐩𝐸xt. The module is set as 𝐬𝐮𝐩ext. Look at this. So basically TypeScript compiles the file with the 𝐬𝐮𝐩ext pattern, but Node.js was built on CommonJS pattern, so that's why this is a conflict. To solve this issue, let's create another config file. So inside this root, let's create another file which is tsconfig.cder.json. Okay, so this file will be responsible to run this script. Okay, so here let's put a curly brace. First of all, extend everything from the tsconfig.json. So extends, not excludes, extend from tsconfig.json. Cool. And then just set the compiler option. So compiler options, here just set the module. So module, this is CommonJS. That's it. Save this, and now just go to package.json again and modify the script. So basically we need to tell the scripts that don't use the tsconfig.json file, instead just use the tsconfig.cder.json file. So for that you need to put the location, which is done using the project flag, and then pass the file name, which is tsconfig.cder. I can't type with the one hand. Okay, the second one is, again just put it here. Nice, just save this, and now it should work. Let's see. Let's clear the console, run this, npm run data import. Oh, we still have some error, which is cannot file at that library/data, and that is fair. Yeah, I know that is fair, and that is because we need to remove this @ because this is inside the TS node and it can't use the path alias. So just go to cdat.ts, let's go to top. First of all, it is not @libraries, it is /libraries, and then the second one is /model. Let's see. Run this again, clear the console, npm run data import. Oh, look at this, database connected and data is imported. And now just go to Mongoose database, this cluster, close this, click on this collections, and look at this, I have my data. So seeder file is working fine. This seeding is a very important part of development, so I did not want to skip that. Okay, So our seeder is working fine. We have our models ready. In the next part, we are going to create our API and then we are going to play with the API. So that's it guys, that's it for this video. If you got some help from this video, please hit the like button, please. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.